Better call Zaal.
Welcome to Better Call Zaal YapZ. I'm here with Rich Bartuc. I hope I pronounced that right. With the PowerPacks Diamondhands Club. Welcome to the podcast, Rich. It's good to have you here. How you doing today?
I'm doing excellent. Thanks for having me on the stream, Zal. Appreciate that.
100%, 100%. Well, we'll just have to get right to it because this is probably my favorite topic of the things I could possibly yap about. So let's get to it. Why and how did you personally kind of get interested in GameStop and then kind of Power Packs or collectibles as a whole? Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah, I'll start with the collectibles since it predates GameStop. So, about 30 years ago or so, that's kind of crazy to say. I was walking by this card store, and I'd never been in one before, and they had Star Wars on the wall, and Magic the Gathering, and Babylon 5, and Star Trek, and some other games. And I went in and checked it out, and I saw Darth Vader in the case. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and then the rest is history. I still have that Star Wars Darth Vader card signed by David Prowse. I don't know if you know who that is, but that's the actual guy inside the Vader suit in the original Episode 4, 5, and 6. So yeah. So anyways, after that, eventually got into Pokemon. Also played a lot of physical games, Nintendo, Sega. Played on the Genesis, the 32X, the CD, the GameCube, the Super Nintendo. So if you can think of a game system, I pretty much played everything that came out between 1985 and 2005. Um, and then from there, obviously EB Games, I was familiar with that, and then obviously GameStop afterwards. But I had never thought of it really as an investment until 2020 when Ryan Cohen put out his activist letter, right? So at that point, I read through it and I said, "Wow, this is kind of an opportunity." GameStop, I can't remember, 8%, 10% stake or something like that at that point. I was like, okay, just based on market mechanics, that means he's reduced the supply, the price has to go up a certain amount, and and so I got into it, picked up some options. It was at $3 or $4 at the time in 2020, Q3, Q4. And picked up some options. Everyone was like, "Oh, buy these $15 calls. It's gonna go to 20." And I'm like, I don't think it's gonna go to 20. I mean, maybe I'll pick up these eights, these nines, these tens, but I don't think it's gonna go to 20. And so it was like, end of the year, whatever, it's 20, 25. And then January comes around and I had shares at $3, $5, $10, $15, whatever. And then January comes around and I'm just like, okay, it's starting to move a lot more. I didn't know anything about Roaring Kitty at that point. I knew some about Wall Street bets, but I really didn't pay attention too much to Roaring Kitty at that time. It was all about Ryan Cohen, watching his, X and seeing what was going on with him. And we get into this interesting dilemma where the price of the stock goes up so much, the Friday before January 28th and all that. And obviously at some point you're like, you got to start selling. So on Monday, I was in this Discord. We had thousands of people. It still exists, but in a much more diminished format. But all these people were kind of retail investors. It was all going crazy, and and basically we were all just kind of guessing a little bit. But I saw that the volume was insane, and I'm a volume momentum trader. So I like stocks that trade 10x, 20x, 50x their normal daily trading volumes. And when I see that, that stock can do amazing amounts because the turnover is so high of the stock. So basically, the more you trade the underlying shares that are actually available, the faster you do that, the faster the price can move. I mean, that's just supply and demand, right? So not enough shares left in the hopper there, so they just keep going, going, going faster, faster, faster. And so I pick up, I don't know, I was like something insane. I was like, I'm gonna get these $80 calls, $100 calls on Monday, and it went from like 100 to 120 in the next few hours. I saw AMC was around $3 or $4. I was like, I love GameStop. I love AMC. I was like, a lot of people are talking about AMC. I'll get these AMC calls that are at $5, $6, and then on Wednesday it hits like 20 or whatever it is, and I make like, I don't know. I don't want to say how much I made that week, but it was seven figures were showing, and I started with 5 figures. So it was a good week. It was a good week. And then obviously Friday happened, the buy button's gone, all that stuff, and it's just like at that point my entire world was almost shaken. My worldview had to change. It had to adopt a whole new worldview, saying that the market is rigged in
Mhm.
some form or fashion, right? Because how can you take the buy button off? Not just GameStop, right? It was like 74 stocks that had all gone wild or whatever it was, that meme basket, some people call it now. And so I was just, a little bit in shock. Did I lose a little bit of money on Friday? Sure. Was I down over the prior day? Sure. Was I up for the week dramatically? Absolutely. And so then over the next week, 2 weeks, everyone's like, it's gonna come back, it's gonna come back, and then it just kind of stays dead. And then I'm just watching it and watching it. And then in February of 2021, um, there was a tweet that happened, but I had been waiting and watching, and I'm like, look, it went from, what was it, like 450 down to 40. I'm like, it's a 90% drop. It's gonna pop somewhere around to the 30%, maybe the 50% mark, which means it would go to around 100 to 150, 200. And so I picked up these 50, $60 calls for like 0.03, so basically like $3, and they went up to $30, $60. It was like, and $60 means 6,000, right? So I put
Yeah.
in three, and I came out with $900, $2,000. It was insane. So that was the best day for me personally, because I had 300x returns, which means 30,000%. It was pretty dumb. And not only is it dumb, I posted a day and a half prior what I was doing, so hundreds, if not thousands, of other people copied my strategy,
Yeah.
and then they sold, of course, a little bit sooner than I did, because I had a specific target in mind, but everyone had just made a ton of money, and it was all very, very exciting. So, since 2021, we haven't really had any excitement like that. Last year, Roaring Kitty came back, and he got me back into GameStop. I had kind of got away a little bit. I kind of was, focusing on some other endeavors, but I took a few months off after March, April, whatever it was, in 21, and just kind of refocused on what I wanted to do. And so, some big things, some important things to me, financial literacy. I care a lot about that. I care a lot about educating people. And so that kind of leads me to back to May 2024. A lot of people, yet again, it's the same scenario. The volume's through the roof. It goes from $10 to $60 in the matter of a few weeks. I make a bunch of money again on Thursday before it was announced that Roaring Kitty was going to go live on Friday. I picked up. It was almost like February 2021 all over again. I had
Mhm.
picked up thousands of calls Thursday morning that expired Friday and the next Friday, and it was yet again something crazy. I was like, it was at 80, and now it's at 20. I think it's going to go back to 30 or 40, and it goes back to 30 or 40, and yet again, it
It's like
wasn't as crazy because it was
80 and
still
now.
elevated, but yeah, it was significantly elevated. So I say all that because this is what I've kind of got me into Power Packs.
Mhm.
So Roaring Kitty, he's posting, the what's in the box memes, all these different memes, all this different foreshadowing. Is it real? Does he know anything that's coming? Who knows? But what we do know is this: is that upon his return, the stock went insane. So whether he has, hundreds of millions, billions of dollars, who knows? Don't know that either. But we know there's some amount of either coincidence or providence, and he knows something, or he can do something that makes it looks just the same. So this leads me to Power Pack. So basically, Nat Turner comes on. last year, October, November, and he's in the board. He doesn't have any shares. I know he gets some flack for that, but here's the thing: he's adding so much value. I mean, think
He's a
about it.
memer. It's great for the brand.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, having PSA as a collectible company be
Yeah.
associated with GameStop, I can't think of a better combination of names.
Yeah,
Um,
especially getting them into the digital age, right? And making that transition
exactly,
from retail.
exactly. And so
Brick and
once they,
mortar, not retail.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you have to get away from the physical locations to a large extent. It's great to have them. They're almost good for marketing from an aspect to keep you in the mind. But from a profitability standpoint, everyone knows they're just not that profitable. So the grading came into fruition, and then there's a million cards graded at GameStop, and I tested out the process myself. Very easy. Got a lot of tens back. I felt great about that. Put in 9, 10 cards, get 3 or 4 tens back. That feels good. Um, so tested all that. And then they had these power packs come out,
Hmm.
and that I think that series one was, I don't know, February, March, April, something around that. And I was like, that's a really cool concept. A PSA 8 or higher graded card and a couple of packs. And I was like, honestly, I had been buying a ton of boxes after the whole um, Nat Turner joined, and I started looking a little bit more into Pokemon and picked up some
So were
Starting Spark.
those physical?
What's that?
Were those physical?
What do you mean the boxes? Oh, the packs. Yeah, they had physical power packs
Interesting. I
earlier this
actually
year.
don't know about that. That's very cool.
Yeah, so the Series 1, let me see if I can get the exact date, but they had Series 1 power packs at GameStop months before they had the trademark and everything. Here it is. GameStop Power Pack Series 1. Let's see if it has a launch date. StockX has usually really good information. It has Series 1 on here. It has Buck the Bunny on it, 3
Huh.
TCGB, 3 CTG, 3 trading card game booster packs with a PSA 8 plus. So I don't have the specific time on here. I was trying to see if it had more information. Doesn't look like it, but I feel like, based on what I remember, they were somewhere around the February to April timeframe. And so, anyways, I, uh, I saw those. I thought it was a great idea. I pulled tons of packs, tons and tons of packs. I spent thousands of dollars on um, trying to put sets together and things like that. And I was really looking at the pull rate for a good card. You almost never break even buying boxes and opening them. So then I moved to buying boxes and storing them.
Mm.
And those boxes have gone up 100%. Obsidian Flame last year was $100. Now they're $200. It's like buy whatever set is around 100 to 150 bucks. That is 2 or 3 years old. That's kind of what I was doing. But I was like, that's not really fun. Collecting a bunch of boxes isn't that fun. It
Yeah.
makes money, but it's not fun.
Opening the boxes is what's
Oh,
fun,
way,
right?
way more fun. So then, of course, GameStop does the Bitcoin thing, and then they do the offering thing. But the whole push start arcade really caught my attention. I know it caught a lot of other people's attention. Let's be honest. It was
Yeah,
like,
right.
what is this all about? What's Buck talking about? Push start arcade. And so, I have an article. I don't know if you've had a chance to really look at it or not. It's on my profile page, but it's 2,800 words, way too long for someone to sit down and read and just look through all at once. But if you take some time, it kind of goes through the timeline. So June 15th, literally right after earnings, they come out with this push start arcade initiative,
Yeah.
and people had all these theories and what it's about, and then they show Buck the Bunny with these power boxes, not power packs. And and then I'm, like I said, I'm just fascinated. I want to be in the push start arcade. I love GameStop. I love gaming. It looks like there could be collectibles involved. The PSA name, push start arcade, they're very similar. If you look up PSA on X, it's PSA card. It's so close to PSA with the arcade. It's like maybe, and then it turned out it was that. Yeah, there you go. So um, it's got like 38,000 views. Um, so a lot of people read through it. It's got great information. If you want to know anything about Power Packs, it's all in here. I've shared the odds. How do you make money on this? How do you lose money on this? At the time when I was going through it, I had spent $47,000 on PowerPacks, and right now I'm over 70,000, 69,000. But basically, this is going to be amazing for GameStop. The revenue
Oh
of
yeah,
GameStop has been the major, I would say, hurdle that they've been trying to get over. Because if you look at it, they're having way more profit. We all know that. But what they don't have more of is revenue because they've been
yeah.
optimizing on their stores and cutting and making money. So, long story short, this is going to create
Wow, this is long.
insane revenue.
It's fire. I love it.
Yeah. 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 It's crazy.
I
So,
will. Yeah, I will definitely read it more
yeah.
in depth. But
Yeah.
I'm glad I could share a couple of the images.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's got everything in here that you kind of ever want to know. But I call it the Greg, the GameStop Revenue Engine Generator. That's really what this is all going to be about because you could
I
take
like that.
$1,000 and you could basically do what a bank does and leverage it, right? So you
Yep.
do 1,000, you spend 1,000 on a diamond pack. Okay, the worst you can do is $500. The best you can do is $16,000. Okay, so if you spend $1,000, you can have $16,000, or you could have $500. But let's say you did the $500. Okay, and then you put it back in, you buy a platinum pack for 500. Now you hit $1,000. Okay, now you're back to the same, but you're at $1,500 revenue for GameStop, but now
Yeah.
you're back in the same spot. And you're like, okay, I'm gonna buy another diamond pack. Now you're $2,500 revenue.
Yeah.
This time
Able to
staying the
reuse the
same.
same money a lot of times.
Exactly.
Especially if
So
you get lucky, right? Because
right.
most people that get lucky are gonna continue to spend it.
Right. And so what I did was I looked into some other companies that had a little bit more detail that had been around a little bit longer than this initiative. Obviously, this started less than a month ago. And so one of my friends, Dachshund Wizard, hit me up. He said, check out this other, because he saw all the power packs I was doing. He's like, check out this other place. It's called BZ. And so I looked at BZ and checked it out, and it's crazy what they have here. So on BZ, I don't know. Oh, here it is. Here, I can show you. So on BZ, you can actually see how many pulls, how many swaps, and how. So this BZ, by the way, you would love it. It's crypto based.
Yeah,
You
no,
can
I've
get
heard of
NFT.
BZ. I've actually been to events that have been sponsored by BZ. So,
Oh man, it's
but
it's
I've never
awesome.
actually used their platform. So I'm
Oh, it's
curious.
so good. It's so
Yeah.
good. You can see I have my profile and everything.
Tell us more about it.
Yeah, so BZ is just like Power Packs. It's not as I would say it's not as easy to list everything because they have their own private marketplace. So you don't have access to eBay like you do with GameStop, but you get a choice. You can do
PSA
$30 or
company.
50. It's not only so that's the other issue. It's not only PSA, it's CGC, it's
Oh, that's pretty
BGS.
cool though.
Yeah, it's got like everything, right? So
That's
all
pretty
different kinds.
cool. Huh. I
Tag.
guess I
I
didn't
got a lot of
realize
tag
that's what
cards.
they did.
Yeah, so these guys started doing the claw, I think January this year, but
Yeah,
they
because
were doing a
I'm a
marketplace
big
before.
trading card game person personally, right? Like that's how I got into the whole GameStop thing in the first place.
Yep.
But yeah, like Magic the Gathering's my like go-to, and like I'm
Mhm.
excited to start grading some of my Magic cards as well and getting
Mhm.
those slabs back. So yeah.
So here's what I want you to pay attention to on this though. This is what's really important.
Yeah, here,
53,000,
wait
right?
one sec. Let me make you a little bit bigger.
Yeah, no problem.
Let's do that. There we
Boom. So 53,000, right?
go. Yeah.
That's an important number because that's all the claws that have happened. So if you do 53,000 times $50, I mean, we can pull up, we can do math, right?
Yeah.
53,000 times 50 is
Uh,
$2.6 million since January. And this is kind of like a homegrown custom. I met
Yeah.
the like the founders and their marketing. They put millions and millions of dollars in this, but $2 million, it's not a lot of money to some people. It's a lot of money to other people. And then you can see 48,000 swaps, but the swap volume is $1 million. So therefore, um, out of the 53,000, the 2.5 million, let's just say, it could be lower with the $30, but let's just say it's 2.5 million. At 48,000 swaps, that means 48,000 people sold their cards back. Well, just do the math on that. That's like 90% sellbacks.
Yeah.
And then out of that, they got a million. Let's just assume they got 1.5 million. That means BZ made $1 million. On
Yeah.
top of that, they have to buy into what like how you fill your wallet on this is also you have to actually fill it up with crypto. You can only buy right now with crypto. It's the only reason I don't do more of it. But if you go to your like your wallet balance or
Yeah.
whatever, you got your
You just have to
got all
send.
this.
It's an embedded crypto wallet for the
Exactly.
yeah, that's cool.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes yeah. Sometimes it's also weird with gambling when like regulations, I know with some blockchain things. So that's also probably why they might not have fiat, but maybe they just rocketed
They're
out.
adding
But yeah,
fiat
no,
very soon. They told me in the next
no, yeah.
45 days, and I'll jump
Oh, wow.
back. But right now,
Yeah,
I
no,
have to pay
I mean,
$54.
I could
Uh,
move some of our crypto around for sure. So I'm excited to do a couple pulls. I actually when I was doing some power pack pulls for our first episode, for that first one, um someone in the crypto space that I've been watching for a bit sent me this thing called Vibe.market,
mhm,
where Vibe Market you can open packs as well, and it's like their own kind of style of collectibles, and a lot of different creators and independent artists have been added to that marketplace. So it's pretty cool to kind of see
mhm.
other people kind of like getting into this kind of same style of like collectibles, but like that PSA grading, and then like this having like other grading opportunities
Mhm.
is really cool.
So if you think about that for a second, 90%, right, are getting swapped, which means you could theoretically do 10 pulls and generate 10 times the revenue. And you could just be swapping over and over. So Aculus, if he's listening, Aculus is a great guy. He shared with me he did over 1,300 pulls. He actually had more pulls than me. But his vault was around 80 to 100, which means he put back 1,200 cards, whether he sold them on eBay or he sold them instantly. That takes us right back to that kind of 90%. And I was like, for me, like I love collecting, so I've pulled over 1,400. But if you look, this is just all my Pikachu's. I have 11 Pikachu EXs. But if you look, I have over 1,064 right now
Yeah.
in the vault. So it's like I'm not really following that model, which is probably
Mhm.
putting a little pressure on GameStop because they probably weren't expecting anyone to hold 1,000 of these in their vault. They're like, everyone should just be gambling, right? Or
Uh,
collecting, but buying, selling it back, and trying to collect exactly what they want.
that's
Um, they're probably not expecting anyone to just hold everything and sell very little, but that's what I'm doing. So got some really great cards. I've done diamond packs, I've done platinum packs, I've done it all. I actually really enjoy the starter packs because you get some very interesting pulls. Now they
yeah.
give you card ladder so you can kind of see. It's like you go onto here, you can click on it, you can see the last five sales. 1,050, 750, 855. But this is really where it gets crazy. You can list right your cards on eBay, but guess what account you're listing on? You're listing with
Yeah.
a PSA account.
Yeah.
I'll zoom in on that. The PSA account, 160,000. So, no, like imagine that you get instant access to the best sales platform for your eBay,
Yeah.
and you're paying the same fees that you would normally pay. It's like insane, right?
Yeah.
Insane. And somebody could buy your card with Klarna. You could buy this Pikachu right now if you'd like for 12.69.69, $78 a month, 6,000 population. But they've done some really great stuff. Um, and so, why do I like PowerPack so much? Why have they spent so much money? Um, it's because I enjoy it, right? It's fun. I like sharing it with people. I like talking to people about it. And that's really what connected us, right? You were into a pull or something, and I think I responded. I was like, great pull, and then look, instant community, right? Instantly,
Exactly.
like this is such a social activity. You wouldn't think, hey, collecting, because normally you buy a bunch of
Mhm.
packs, and then you're like protecting your cards because someone's going to touch them and mess them all up.
Yep.
But now you could pull these, you could share it on social. Nobody's touching your cards. They're already encased. They're already protected. It takes the fear of, oh, somebody's going to bend my card, scratch my card, nick my card with their fingernail. and it turns it into, hey, check this out, check that out, check this out, check that out.
Yeah,
And
the risks of the physical reality, right? Like
yeah,
anything is possible. It could get lost in the mail, right? Like,
yep,
yeah, and then it's like
yeah,
it's a one of one, right? Like, there's not other cards that they can just like send you another. So,
no,
like, if it gets lost in the mail, it's kind of lost, right? Like, what happens to that?
yep.
Yeah, I can.
So if you check it out, there's this PowerPacks X account. If you haven't joined it yet, you should join it. Follow it, see
Yep,
what's going on.
100%
Uh,
in the
Look
chat
at this. Look
watching
at
that.
these people being crazy right here. This just got posted 6 minutes ago, so I haven't even seen it yet. I was
Right.
trying to show you something else. Now on display in the arcade, Ryan Cohn's underwear.
Yeah,
I saw it when we
the
were going through the video.
Staplegate. That's
Would
funny.
grade anything, Nat Turner says. So I guess he's already graded it. I don't know if it's a 10, maybe he got a 9, who knows. But no, it's a really cool account, right? So if you check
Yeah,
this out, they actually have one of my broadcasts on here. They only
nice.
have, I don't know, 23 posts,
Yeah.
but they actually reposted this, and it has 11,000 views. It was really nice of them. And then this over here, I pulled a shining Tyranitar. I don't know if you
Wow,
like
that looks
Pokemon that much,
beautiful.
but yeah, it was sick. And this was back like 2 days after they started, a day after they started, and they posted that, and I was
Or,
like, oh,
for real.
that's awesome.
That is cool.
So, Aaron Milan Vega, I always call him out, Roaring Sensei. He's great for GameStop. He's been posting nonstop. He's a GameStop evangelist, PowerPacks evangelist, great guy. But yeah, so basically, PowerPacks Diamondhands Club. You can see that that's kind of in my little stream profile here. It's a small community right now, 300 people. It's just people really in the beta, talking about how the beta works, understanding things, sharing what they've learned, sharing the bugs, getting it ready to go for release. But I really see this as a catalyst for revenue and
Mhm.
obviously for profit as well for GameStop, but really a massive revenue generator. So really looking forward to seeing what the earnings look like from the Bitcoin appreciation that happened last quarter, the Switch 2 sales, the day or two of power packs, but Q4 earnings is going to be, that's going to be when it gets
Yeah, I
pretty
mean, well, that'll be
crazy.
all of beta at least, and then maybe more. But even if not, like kind of coming into this, yeah, Christmas, it's gonna be pretty nuts. Hopefully it's open to the public by then, and everyone can, you can share out a link, and anyone can rock it out, right? So yeah, I'm
Yep.
excited. Like I said, I still need my account. I need access. I'm excited to rip open some packs and play around with it. But
Yes.
yeah, that's an awesome story. I love hearing it. It was really cool. I see someone said very interested in seeing game earnings. Got to be good. So yeah, no, it's gonna be a blast over the next little bit. I pulled a Drake May card, and I'm a big New England Patriots fan. I grew up
Mhm.
10 minutes away from Foxborough, and I've literally been to like a preseason game. I've never been to a regular season game, but like we've been to like the Foxborough Stadium many
Mhm.
more times than like I can count for like movies, and just like a couple of buddies lived around there, so it's just like a local place that you can walk around. So being able to like collect that like potential like our future franchise QB. Like it was a 9, so hopefully at some point I can snag a 10, which would be really cool. But like being
Mhm.
able to snag that was a pretty cool pull for me personally, right? Like I'm gonna get that slab physically and probably
Mhm.
keep it here, right? Like that's probably my goal. So yeah, it'll be awesome to
Mhm.
see what else we can get.
Agree. I totally agree. Yeah.
So my last question for you will be like maybe give us your top 2 or 3 favorite cards that you've pulled so far, if you have them there.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. So let's go with the one that's the hottest first.
Okay.
Uh, yep. So let's go with 232 Mu EX. This I would say has been my most profitable pull. UEX. Let's see. There he is. So when I pulled this card, you can see right here it says $500, right? This
Yeah.
card currently is going for the last one just went for 2200, 1800, 1800. I sold it 2 weeks ago for 1669.69. But when I pulled it, it was only worth $1,100. But I saw it was on a massive uptrend, right? Massive uptrend. Like what kind of asset like this appreciates 100% in
Yeah.
2 or 3 weeks? Like it's just crazy the amount of trades that's happening around this card. So I figured I'd share that. It's
That's
beautiful,
beautiful.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd say that has been my number one card I pulled from a enjoyment standpoint, upside standpoint. There's a Expedition Fearow here. This one I actually sold back to GameStop for 1343. They're saying the card ladder value is 1200. There's one over here saying 1500, but
Yeah.
this card came out in 2002. It's a PSA 10. It's pretty beautiful. I spent $1,000. This is a diamond pack pull.
Okay. Wow. Yeah.
Yep, yep. Let's see. I pulled a what's another good one? A Charizard. I can show you a Charizard. I got a couple of those. So this one's a PSA 4. Look how beat up this card is. PSA 4, just demolished. I think I picked it up off of $100 pack or something like that. And then oh, here's another great Charizard. This is also from the Muse set
Oh,
over
that's
here, the
beautiful.
151.
I love
Yeah,
that image.
yeah. It's
That
such a great image.
illustrations. Yeah.
And then I got a much better
Huh.
PSA 8 Charizard here, much better. You can still see it has the little kind of marks from the holographic, but on the front side, pretty much perfect. Had a couple nicks on the back, and that's really what took it down. And then one of my favorite Korean cards that I pulled. Let's see, Hospitality. There we go. This was a Korean one. Erika's Hospitality, 2019, 1255. This was also out of a
Wow.
diamond pack. It was the first card I pulled.
For a
I was
trainer,
like,
why do you know why it's so valuable?
well, yeah, that's a great question. Why would Erika's Hospitality be so valuable? Well, let's go take a look. There's 14. There's 14.
Uh,
And it's Korean. So it's hard to find. Erika's Hospitality is already a sought after card, but there's only 14 of them. It's from 2019, 6 years ago. There's not going to be a whole lot more of these to be found. Card looks beautiful. And then the card I think has the most upside, but it's the most niche card is going to be this rare candy. One day maybe I'll sell it to the rare candy people, but I don't know if you're familiar with them, but they sell a lot of stuff.
uh,
But this rare candy I pulled
that's beautiful.
is, yeah, it's a first edition Reviving Legends, Japanese. I've looked everywhere, can't really find anything else like it. Pulled it out of a platinum $500 pack. And
That's cool.
if we go look at the cert number on this one, it's even crazier, right? So we have 20,
Oh, you have
20 from a
phenomenal.
2010. Yeah, so there's no more of these that are ever going to be graded. I mean, there's still a chance at the Korean one since 2019, but this is 15 years old, and um, I've seen a couple of these go around, $100, $150 ungraded, but yeah, I seriously doubt you're going to see because it's just really hard if you look at it. This is a pretty tough one to actually grade, just because of the holographic actually goes past the
Huh.
the border here. Yeah, so you can see it's all around. But yeah, it's just a great card. I think it has a lot of value. I saw a I think it was a Soul Silver one going for 3,000 on eBay, also a rare candy. So like I said, I think it's some you have to find a collector that collects rare candy, and then maybe you'll have a chance to do something with this.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just gonna have to hold on to it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I mean, a lot of great
That's pretty
cards.
cool. No, that's awesome. Thanks for sharing. That I love it. Like that's a cool list of some of those awesome cards, and I'm sure there'll be a lot more in the next few weeks / months. So, dude, it was an awesome having you on here. Like I learned a lot actually. I'm excited to check out some more of your streams now, and tap in over there. And hopefully connect again in the future, and we can chat a little bit more about where everything's going.
Absolutely, Zal. It was great to be on. Thank you for having me, and talk soon.
100%. Thanks everyone for joining. Appreciate everyone in the comments. Cheers. Have a good one.